Alright, so we are back. So in your kit, you should have these little black holders. You either have one that has a little casing on it or one that does not. And if you can't find it, you should have a 9-volt battery, and you should have one of these little connectors. So that also works perfectly fine for this activity. And what we're going to do is we're just going to first create a basic circuit. So to help us with the wiring, is we're going to use these little white devices. These are called terminal clips. They're spring loaded, which means that you can push down on the top and you can insert the wire in and it makes a connection. So let's test that out. I'm going to take and I'm going to get my red and black. So now I've made one side positive, one side negative, right? And what I want to do is I just want to test this, and you should have some little LED lights, or at least one LED light in your kit, and you can also test this out with the fan. So I'm going to do my blue LED light. Now this is one where they switch the coloring of the wires on us. Look, it's a black and a blue wire, and in this case, you know, I think I got these from Amazon, but they were probably manufactured in China, Taiwan, someplace like that. In their manufacturing process, they use whatever wires they had handy. So black in this case is positive and blue is negative. Okay. Okay. And you should get, once you get it inserted, your little LED light should happily light up. Okay. Now, it's useful to know how a LED works. Is an LED basically is a light one way and it's an infinite resistor the other way, which means current won't flow. So if I reverse these and I put my black to black, my LED light won't come on because they won't allow current to flow. So if you plug in your LED and it doesn't work and you jiggle your wires around, odds are you've just got the positive and negatives messed up because it will block the current. And then the second that I switch them back, right, my LED light should happily come on. So now we have made a very, very simple series circuit. Right, I've got my voltage supply, current. We can think of it as flowing out of the positive. It flows through my LED light, back through my negative wire, and back into the negative side of my battery. So I'm making a complete circuit loop. And that's the key in understanding how currents work and how circuits work, that they are making a loop. What's happening, right, is you've got an energy source here from my battery. It is pushing those electrons, you know, so it's generating a force, you know, a voltage, and it's pushing those electrons through, and that's what is driving my LED light to come on. So now we're going to do exactly the same thing with the fan. So in your kit, you should have this little 5-volt motor. You have to be a little careful on hooking this guy up to a 9-volt if you have that, because it might burn it out because you're adding a lot more energy than it's normally designed to take. So just be aware that if it nothing bad will happen, it will just stop working. I've used them for a while with 9 volts, but I usually use them with 5 volts. So same thing, but this one, it's designed right in terms of wiring. So black is negative in this case, so we just make the colors the same and we line them up, and you should be able to feel your fan moving. Now usually in elementary school we tend to use light bulbs. I actually don't like light bulbs as much because usually the cheaper light bulbs that we get are cheap, and so the resistance varies a lot, so you get different voltages. I found these fans to be much more reliable. So what I'm going to do is put on a little fan blade, and it just slides right on. And don't put it on too super tight. I mean, it'll come off, it's just hard. And let's wire it back up again. And why I like the fans is they don't move very fast, so if you get hit by the fan, nothing bad happens, and it's very easy to tell when your fan is working.